We, the chairman, the secretary, and the members of the committee of examiners of the Faculty of Engineering of the Vrije Universiteit Brussels, appointed to conduct the examination leading to the degree of Doctor in Engineering. Whereas Mr. Ahmed AbdelHamid, born at El Beira, Egypt, on the 28th of December 1982, received a diploma Master of Science in Embedded Systems Design. Whereas the person concerned has submitted an original doctoral thesis entitled Fine-Grained Near-Failure Timing Monitors, Insertion and Data Routing Methods for HDL Design Flows. Whereas it was defended by the candidate in a public session on the 22nd of October 2013 at the Vrije Universiteit Brussels. Whereas the candidate has undergone the complete examination with high honors, have conferred and are conferring to Mr. Ahmed AbdelHamid the degree of Doctor in Engineering. Whereas we confirm that the legal stipulations and requirements regarding the universities of the Flemish community have been complied with.
Dear jury members, dear friends, family, dear Ahmed. 5 years ago about you applied at my group at IMEC for a position as scientific collaborator, and you had the ambition to apply for a PhD, and we thought that you could bring this to a good end, which is today. We had to do some fighting with your previous school in Switzerland before they allowed you to come and start with us, but okay, finally we could do so. And you were taken care of by Dr. Miguel Miranda, who was invited to be a jury but could not make it as he is now working with Qualcomm in San Diego. And you might remember that at that time it was the same Qualcomm that was potentially the prime user of the work that you now finally did. And I hope Miguel will in some forum make publicity for that. Technical value, but I would like to make a point here. You and Miguel decided not to try to convince Qualcomm to enter in this research, but to convince our sister group at IMEC, the wireless team, to insert this concept in their chip. And inserting monitors and knobs in a fully fledged chip is certainly not easy, but the most difficult thing is to convince these people that inserting these things in their chip will not kill their chip altogether. That is, of course, also one of the great achievements. In parallel, we know that, apart from the work in IMEC, you have a very great interest and emotional connection with the events that happened in Egypt. You're always motivated about that, probably even more than your work. So, as a doctor engineer that you will be in the future, with a driving force to advance and define technology, you will have even more added talent to convince people to do the integration of convincing new concepts, and to make our great science promote even, to go further, even further. Thank you, and congratulations again.
So it's up to me. So let's first thank the jury members, the committee, the judges, the promoters, the leaders, those who are not here, definitely Anchor and Julie. My colleague, because I assume he contributed a lot to the work, at least in the period of babysitting during synthesis. Miguel Miranda, again, for making spices for this PhD. It was not since I had always issues with my promoters in bachelor's, master's, and now PhD, more or less close ones, I came to the conclusion that the issue is merely in me, not in them. For some reason, I have this competitive, whatever idea that, yeah, I have to do the best, even against my promoter himself. But yeah, at the end, let's say that I passed through the days. As for the promoters, Bart and Martin, I think I'm very lucky to have both personalities. Because if it was not ever for them both, I would have never thought of having my own startup or business. Because at the end, when you start your first day at PhD and you get a promoter that did a company, starting a new position as a leader of a team, then a few years later he leaves the position for another company, then you have to think about it a lot. And when another promoter is running 2 or 3 companies, again you have to think there should be somewhere out of the scientific community, not to industry, but to having your own. And so I think I'm in debt as well to them in some extent, having this idea that yes, you can do it in some extent, which will inspire you. Definitely, person as you again, thank those who are not here, family members, parents, sisters, definitely my wife Rana and Ahmed being named, and it was, I was really happy again to have 4 external guys that wanted to learn. It was probably the questions. Yeah, questions, and it made an interest. And to me it's good because more or less this will be my last scientific presentation, I hope not really ever, so proceed with something else. So I would like finally to thank my mother, who's not here anyways, but that's it. Thanks all. Thanks. Yeah, so the drinks and the reception on 5th floor at K, and definitely more guys will just come. So we got they are only allowed in when they were in the room. It's more interesting than you find. I'm not sure if it's legally the thing like that.
بالك يا خالد ان شاء الله. اتعشى واحده بس طب اعمل اللي بالك طلعت في الفيديو. ايه؟ حمزه خالد هو بيصور فيديو منك طلعت كريم طلعت في الصوت.